Misinformation is not a new problem. False rumors, exaggerated claims, and misleading stories have existed for as long as people have shared information. What has changed is the speed, scale, and structure of today's media environment. Understanding how misinformation spreads is not about blaming individuals. It's about recognizing how human psychology and modern information systems interact, often in predictable ways. Misinformation spreads not because people are foolish or careless, but because it takes advantage of how we all process information. Human attention is limited. Every day, we encounter far more information than we can possibly evaluate in detail. To cope, our brains rely on mental shortcuts. These shortcuts are useful. They help us make decisions quickly, but they can also make us vulnerable. One of the most powerful shortcuts is emotion. Information that triggers strong feelings, fear, anger, outrage, or even excitement is more likely to capture attention. It feels urgent, it feels important, and because it feels important, we're more likely to remember it and share it. Another shortcut is familiarity. When we encounter the same idea repeatedly, it begins to feel more believable, even if it isn't true. Familiarity creates a sense of comfort, and that comfort can be mistaken for accuracy. This effect happens quietly without conscious intention. These tendencies are normal. They're part of being human. Modern media systems amplify these tendencies. Many of the platforms that deliver information today are designed around engagement. Their goal is to keep users clicking, watching, and scrolling. Content that provokes strong reactions tends to perform better in these systems because it holds attention. This doesn't mean that everything emotional is false or that platforms are deliberately spreading misinformation, but it does mean that content optimized for attention is not always optimized for accuracy or context. Speed also plays a role. Information now travels faster than verification. A claim can be shared widely before anyone has time to check it carefully. Once it spreads, corrections often struggle to catch up, especially if the original message was emotionally compelling. This leads to another important dynamic: first impressions. The first version of a story we encounter tends to shape how we interpret everything that follows. Even when corrections appear later, the original idea may linger. This makes misinformation difficult to fully undo once it takes hold. Social reinforcement adds another layer. When people see information shared by friends, family, or trusted communities, it gains credibility, not because it has been verified, but because it comes from a familiar source. Shared beliefs can become reinforced through repetition within social circles, making them feel widely accepted. None of this requires bad intentions. Misinformation often spreads through ordinary actions: sharing something that feels important, reacting quickly, or trusting familiar voices. These behaviors are human, not malicious. The key insight is this: misinformation spreads through the interaction of human psychology and media systems, not through individual failure. When we understand these mechanisms, we gain something important: distance. We become more aware of when our emotions are being activated, when familiarity is influencing our judgment, and when speed is replacing reflection. That awareness creates space to pause and ask better questions. In the next video, we'll focus on those questions. We'll look at practical habits that help slow the spread of misinformation, not by disengaging from the world, but by engaging more thoughtfully with it. For now, remember this: understanding how misinformation spreads is not about assigning blame. It's about recognizing patterns and learning how to navigate them.